Toffee TV. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want extra videos, then join us on Patreon. And we did do a Patreon video last week about Ronald Koeman and what was going wrong, and I suppose we're moving it on a little bit this week, Baz, to talk about the future. And if press speculation is to be believed, he has got a month to save his job. If press speculation is to be believed, of course, we're not saying that is right, but in a way, I suppose he has got a month to save his job in the eyes of fans, because the next few fixtures are, you know, huge. We've got Brighton this weekend, which really, on paper, we should be winning, especially with their indifferent start. Then we've got Lyon in a game that we must win, otherwise we are effectively out the Europa League. We then face Arsenal at home. We expect to win all our home games, as far as I'm concerned. Chelsea in the League Cup. You know, it's the League Cup, it's a cup competition. And then we face Leicester away, which will be a very difficult game. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. If we're going into that game, really needing a win, it's over as far. I mean, you know, if we're coming to the end of October and we're out of a League Cup, we'll effectively be out the Europa League, and we haven't added too many points to the Premier League table, then surely the writing would have to be on the wall.
Yeah, you'd think so. Certainly, if it plays out like that, I mean, we could be looking at a very different picture come the end of October, because there's still a good side in there with good players. It's just, again, it's like we've said at times, it's knowing how to put that team together.
Yeah.
What's the best makeup of it? I think it's easy to say, but I think he needs to just go back to basics and make some big decisions. And if that means Gylfi Sigurdsson sitting on a bench, if it means Ashley Williams sitting on, you know, them kind of decisions, Wayne Rooney, whoever it may be, we need to do it, because we've got to be tough to beat. That's first and foremost. But we've got to win some football matches. It's, you know, what are we with the middle of October next time we take the pitch? As far as I'm concerned, we haven't played well at all. I think we played 13 games this season so far, and we haven't played well really in any of them.
I think it's interesting that you say we have to be hard to beat, because I think certainly in the last game he probably put a team out that would be hard to beat, and we were beaten because we've got no attacking ability at all. I think at the moment, with confidence being so short, we're always capable of losing a goal, and then the problem is, how do we score a goal? And I think that for me is the biggest problem. I think actually, you know, you go back to the Burnley game. He played 4-4-2. I could see what he was doing, but the makeup of the team was wrong. Certainly at home, it was wrong. Playing two holding midfielders, and I know you just mentioned Wayne Rooney and Sigurdsson, but they wouldn't be the players I'd be looking to rest. The players I'd be looking to rest are, let's say drop.
I haven't said he drops them. I'm just saying
I'm saying drop them.
There's big decisions to make in this team.
I think the centre of the park is where we need to freshen things up. I think it's not working with Schneiderlin and Garner, and that's not to say it won't work. It's just not working at the moment. We're looking for a bit of creativity, we're looking for a spark, and it's not there. Again, glowing reports about Sigurdsson playing the number 10 position for Iceland. They went to Turkey, beat them 3-0. You know, Iceland going to Turkey and beating them 3-0. The team was built around Sigurdsson playing the number 10. For me, I think that is what we have to start doing, is looking after our biggest asset and saying we're going to build the team around you. I've said that before, and I think that's the only way we can go. I still think that fits. You can fit Wayne Rooney into that team. You can play Wayne Rooney as a striker with a partner, and have Sigurdsson behind them, or have Sigurdsson as a more advanced centre midfielder, with maybe Garner playing behind, who just sits in front of the back four and mops everything up. And if you add pace to that team, I don't think that's a bad team. But I just think we have to start, like you just saying, make tough decisions. It's got to start by stopping this stupid thing of having effectively 2 or 3 players playing out of position, which suits nobody for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if you go through the team, I think Jordan Pickford has done well. So no one's even talking about Pickford. You know, he's established there. And we've got an issue at right back. Some people won't want to hear it, others will. We've got an issue at right back.
No, we have.
And for me, the third best right back we've got fit at the moment starts a lot of times under him.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. I see Kenny and Holgate as the two that are ahead of Koeman. People might go, he's not the issue. He is the issue, because if you play him with a player that isn't good enough, he becomes an issue. Then I think it's...
Well, what I would say, can I just say something about the right back? If Koeman is his number one right back, then nail your fucking colours to the mast and play him right back every week. He's not my right back, he's not your right back. I know that, Baz. But the point is, if he's his right back, then play him every week. Show some bollocks and get some...
Well, he'll say that he does play him.
He doesn't though, does he? We've had
Holgate. He played against Spurs, he played against Burnley, he played against... who was the game he got tonked in before? United. He's played him in the Premier League, alright, he might switch it up for the cup games. Plays him in the Premier League, and that's why we've lost 4 games out of 5, by the way. You know, we played him for 70 minutes against Bournemouth, we were getting beat 1-0. He went off the pitch, we win the game 2-1. He's not good enough.
No, I know he's not good enough.
But that's an issue. Centre back, Ashley Williams, puts on a Wales shirt, turns into fucking Superman.
He does.
Puts an Everton shirt on, he's all over the place. So it's either the manager giving him the wrong instructions, although I do believe, I was listening, I didn't see that much of Wales today, but I was listening this morning and Pat Bonner was talking about him, saying he was all over the place. He had the ball at his feet, give it away a few times. He should have conceded because of his mistakes. He was just not playing well. So I'd have sent Keane without a shadow of a doubt, one. Jagielka, if fit, the other one.
He's fit for the weekend.
So therefore Jag's back in without even shadow of a doubt, straight in the side. And obviously we've got no option but Baines. And that back 4 needs to stop, back 5 needs to play a few games together. Stop arsing about making changes for the sake of it. You've tried the right back who you think can do the job, and he hasn't been able to do it. So either play Holgate or Kenny there and give them a go. Seamus is hopefully not that far away now. Go there. And then why I'm saying be tough to beat is we've lost 4 of the last 5 games.
Oh yeah.
So if we'd have picked up another 2 points in those 5 games, you know, we'd be a little bit higher and probably feeling a little bit better about ourselves. But we're just getting beat too easily. We're getting beat too easily, and games are going by where you look and go, you know, I can sit here and go, tell you what, we had a difficult start though, didn't we? We had United, we had City and fucking Burnley. Burnley have had Spurs, Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Tottenham.
They've got City next.
And haven't lost an away game.
Yeah.
1-2 of them. So we can bemoan it all we want. But
playing a system every game, that works for them.
And it is difficult for us because we have made big changes and he has tried to change, and I get that, and it will disrupt you. So there is a grain of, there's more than a grain of truth in terms of being unsettled. But I just think we've had the break now, and it's whatever we've done up to now hasn't really worked. We've got 7 points in 7 games. Okay, so what we have to do now is go, right, we're starting again almost this weekend. We've got a winnable game. It'll be a tough game. But it's a winnable game, because they'll be looking at it thinking these are struggling and it's a chance for us to beat them. But it's a winnable game for us, and he's got to make some big decisions. I think you're right with the Garner and the Schneiderlin thing. It isn't working at the minute. It's not to say it can't work, but at the moment Schneiderlin is way below where he needs to be. Garner isn't doing what he done last year, so put him back to where he was last year as the protector, and let's see if we can get him a little bit of his energy going. And then, like you've just said, either throw Tom Davies alongside him, throw Gylfi alongside him, or play Gylfi further up. But there's decisions to make in terms of a shape as well, and that's for me is where the real issue is. There's no, we can't sit here with any amount of certainty and go, well, we know that he's going to play 4-3-3, or we know he's going to play 4-4-2, or he might play 3-5.
3 at the back.
We just don't know, and I don't think he knows, and I think that's the key issue, is that he doesn't know. If he'd have played 3-5-2 for 8 games, you'd go, well, that's his preferred formation, and if he gets the players right, he'll be okay. Imagine you're an Everton player, you don't know what you're going to be faced with each week. Pickford, he's got 2 or he's got 3 in front of him. You know, Sigurdsson and Rooney, they're either a flat three at the front or the one's back in midfield, and no one's identified.
Especially when you've only got 2 or 3 days preparation before those games as well, which is what we've had. We've only had a couple of days. You know, you come off the back of a game, you have a rest day, and and then you might have one day of training to prepare for that game. And I think that's if you're a well drilled side that's got that's fine. You know, if you're only making slight alterations, but when it's different plays and different systems every
like
game.
a Moyes team would have coped a lot more comfortably than what this team was doing, because in general you kind of knew the Moyes team might be, and he didn't have a big squad to play with, of course he didn't, but it was well drilled. Like Burnley would cope with that, because in general it's the same set of players and they get on with it. Chelsea last year coped with stuff because he had the same, I know they didn't have Europe to contend with, but he had the same kind of team every single week, and it was just one in, one out or whatever. And I think other teams you've seen struggle, and people go on about the Europa League and go, it's a curse, but our struggles this season for me aren't down to the Europa League. It's down to him not knowing his best team, and when he's picking those players being totally out of form at the moment. I mean, we couldn't have dreamed Sigurdsson would be so bad as what he's been so far. We've seen this lad last year was fantastic, and has been for 3 seasons, but he looks way below at the moment. You know, Schneiderlin was immense for us the second half of the season. You couldn't have said he was going to be as poor as what he's been this season. Ashley Williams, I know a lot of people, we wasn't their cup of tea last season, but he's still done all right this year. He's been a nightmare.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
You know, and Sandro, the kid got 16 goals last season. He's come in, he doesn't look like he's got a goal in him. One, not more than one. So there's players who are below their levels at the moment, and it's all come together.
Yeah, it's a bad mix. You've got the whole Rooney situation as well.
But Rooney's not.
No, I know, but he's come to Everton, and the whole thing isn't. You know, he's come to Everton, and to be fair,
but I just want to.
It's not. What I mean is, though, when you see pictures of him working in a fucking garden centre and all this kind of thing, you know, it hasn't been. It's been a tough road. A lot of it's his own making.
I just want to address this thing that he's the reason why we aren't very good, because Rooney slows us down and all that. That to me is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. You watch him play, he's our best player still. So he doesn't slow us down, we're just shit. That's the reason. Right. If we were a bit better, he would be a bit better.
Yeah.
He's not the problem is he's got nothing ahead of him. And the manager, unfortunately, is, I suppose he's doing what any of us would do with our collection of players, is you're trying to stumble upon almost on something that works, that you can pin your hopes on.
But at the same time, though, it's blindingly obvious what we lack, and it's width and it's pace, and that can be solved with a couple of players being given a chance. When you go back to the Burnley game, it was crying out the last 20 minutes for Lookman, something a little bit different, something. You're getting 2 for 1 there. You know, Aaron Lennon, he's a safe bet. You bring him in, but you put him on the bench for those. You look at the bench and it's all the same players. I'd have Aaron Lennon on there just to change it up last 20 minutes, get a bit of pace on the pitch, get a bit of width.
Does he do anything?
But for me, he does do something that we need. Lookman's the same. You look at him.
No, Lookman, yeah, no question.
But I would argue that actually Lennon gives you more than Lookman does, because he comes on, he gives you pace, he's direct, and that's what we haven't got. Yeah, but it's what we haven't got.
He came on against Sunderland, and he didn't go outside.
All right, well, imagine if from his point of view, he's training, he's not playing for the under-23s, he's getting 20 minutes here and there, he's trying to rebuild.
But he should be playing for the under-23s, because the lad needs games, doesn't he?
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. It feels like the manager's cutting his nose off.
I just think sometimes, and we've done it,
players get better.
We do it, we're looking at him and going, he hasn't played, so he's better than what he is. Morales, I've seen people calling for Morales.
I agree with that, but the point is that we need something different. The last game 20 minutes ago, he brings Sandro on. There's no reason to bring Sandro on.
No. I totally agree with that.
I just think that it needs to be mixed up. I also feel like the managers. I do feel like the managers hanging his hat massively on James Koeman and Balassi. I really do. It almost feels like there's a lack of there is a lack of pace, and he's thinking, well, when these two come back, that'll sort it all out. We'll suddenly have balance. We'll have, you know, maybe one on the right,
but
one on the...
thought that, haven't we? That
I know, but what I'm saying is, though, is we can't wait, though, till then. There has to be things in the meantime.
Do you believe that he's got this month to save his job?
I do, yeah.
Do you?
I'll be honest, if I look at it and I think if we go into November and we haven't picked up, let's say, 6 out of 9, and we're not still in one of those tournaments, I think he has to go. I really do. The season's not that long. You can't... Maybe I'm being too much of a doom, you know, looking at it, but how long can it go on for? December's chocker, November's chocker. If you haven't picked up wins and you are scrambling down the bottom, that's your season. But then you start looking over your shoulder and thinking of all the other things. And I know people will go, oh, too good to go down. But really not. And if you get caught in that mix...
It's long-term damage, though.
Well, it is.
We've had 2 seasons of, before last season, of finishing 11th. And then people all of a sudden, like, you get your Southampton fans and your West Ham fans are like, Everton, oh, fees are shite, we're bigger, we're better, and blah, 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 and you're like, nah, you're not. But then again, I suppose if we finished 12th, 13th, 3 out of the last 4 seasons, we've been in the bottom half, so, and we've had more money than we've ever had. We can't afford, I think the way the club's set up now, and the way the club are looking at stuff, I think they've thought 7th is our worst position this season. And so that if that's to come true, kind of thing, then we have to start winning football matches. And you start looking
at things like the stadium and things like that, and thinking, well, if you want all that to work, you've got to be up there. You've got to be bringing money in. You've got to be, you know, the owner's not, you know, he's not throwing money at the club. He's just using all his connections and all his business savvy to get us good deals and project what we're going to be doing. You can project what you're going to do all you want, but if you're not in Europe, if you're not challenging at the business end, if you're not bringing money in by being on Sky every week, you know, certainly if you're in that middle part of the table, you're not going to be on Sky because you're not entertaining. You're not part of a relegation fight. You're not part of a European or Champions League, you know, fight. Sky don't want to touch you. BT don't want to touch you. There's nothing there for you. You might be on when you play one of the big boys, but that's it. And you get a lot of money from that. You know, every time you're on TV, you know, the owner doesn't want. He's not going to throw his own money in. He wants us to be self-sustainable. You know, he's not going to be throwing money at you every summer or every window till he gets it right. He wants it right now. He wants to build us up bit by bit. But he throws money in and sees that we haven't gone anywhere, then he's not going to. So, you know, that's football can be ruined very, very quickly. I mean, they always say, you know, you don't win the league in 7 games, but you can certainly lose it in 7 games. Now, I'm not talking about us winning the league. So, you know what I mean? And that's where
because we have lost in 7 games.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at us now and think, well, even now, we couldn't even start even dreaming about trying to get a Champions League place, because even that now, you would think, there's no way we're going, you know what I mean?
I don't think, if you look at the table, it hasn't gone, because you're only a couple of wins off it, but you can't, to challenge for the Champions League place, you've got to be consistent. You've got to know that you can win matches. And at the moment, and it is confidence, because I remember us sat here last year after Watford away, and we were like, this is what we felt like, where's this going? Because we were a shambles on that run. And then we beat Arsenal, and okay, we lost the derby, but then we won at Leicester, and then all of a sudden we got on the thing where you started going, I tell you what, if we win that and that, we're right in it. And for a few months we just got on the cycle of winning games, and the confidence oozes back. The only difference was we had Romelu Lukaku, so we had someone who could put the ball in the net. For all his other failings, because he did have them and he has got them still, but the kid knew how to put the ball in the back of the net. And at the minute there's nobody, when you look at our team, who you would go, yeah, but he's going to score for us every week. Do you know what I mean? And we scored 4 goals in 7 games in the Premier League. It's embarrassing. It's horrendous, really, when you look at it that way. And I suppose the bigger issue for me is that it's not like we've had Calvert-Lewin, who's missing 5 sitters a game, or Sandro, and we're going, Roma that took them. We aren't having them chances. We had 23 shots against Burnley, but only 5 on target. And that's a key area. You know, if you hit 10 shots on target in a game in the Premier League, you generally score on 1 or 2 out of those 10 shots. Only on a bad day where it won't go in for you. And that's been the issue. If you look at our games, the shot ratio is like 9 or 10 shots a game, you know, 1 or 2 on target, and there's just no direction. There's no direct football there. There's no. I don't want tippy-tappy bullshit. I want us playing football in and around their penalty
area. You want a
mix,
don't you?
You know, and that to me has been the biggest thing, is that we're rudderless just because we're not settled on anything, and that I guess that's the scary thing, and that this is his team, and he's had the money to spend. He hasn't inherited it. If it was 12 months ago, you'd always be going, not his team now. He's having to just work. He's been left these players by Martin. You know, that was what we were saying. Not his. But he's moved about 12 players out in that 12-month period, and he's got his own in there, and I guess that's probably what the hypercritical people or people will certainly be able to say.
And he's failed to, you know, broken record, failed to bring in players in key positions, a centre forward, a left-sided centre back, and a left back. He's failed to bring them in where they've been needed most, and you know that's where fans there's fans who are not on the fence and want them out now. There's fans who are who are still on the fence because they probably believe or don't want to see the upheaval of a new manager. But you know, you look at it, they're the arguments that will convince those people to go against them, because you can't argue. You know, and then he might come out and go, well, I don't buy the players, or I don't do this, or I don't do that, but.
If you're not buying the players, right, and have an input in it, I still don't really see how that can work. I know, and we've had this discussion, and I know in Europe it's slightly different and it's coach then play. But I personally look at it and go, that doesn't work for me. It won't work. You're telling me Jose Mourinho has no say in who he brings in or whatever, or Conte doesn't have any say. He might argue to the point and go, well, I really want him, and whoever's doing the deals might be like, well, yeah, but we can't get him, but we can get. Do you know what I mean? I just think if once it goes down that road, it becomes so fractious that the minute it falls away,
we don't know. That's the problem.
No,
we don't know.
I'm saying, you know, we've seen Klopp moaning.
They've never told us.
You know, and Rodgers moaned at Liverpool, and he was at Liverpool with their committee, but he still had an input.
But I think that's half the problem, though, is that we don't know, so we don't know who to blame. And if the club had been very clear about it, then maybe we'd know. But he could say, "Oh, I don't," and then you go, well, that you're just looking for an excuse or whatever. But we don't know. We don't know.
I think how it works is he sits down with Walsh and goes, "I want him and I want him," and then Walsh and whoever else is negotiating goes and tries to get that player at the bet. That can be the only way it works. And people will drop the ball at Steve Walsh's door and go, "It's all him." But for all we know, he might go, "Yeah, this is who he wants. This is I've spoke to his representative, he's interested. There you go," and passes it on, and then our negotiators.
Or the other way is, and we know this has happened, is that Steve Walsh has found somebody, and then the manager has looked at them and gone, "I don't want that player," and we haven't signed that player. So it must work that way. Surely players aren't being bought against the wishes of the manager.
No, I don't.
So you know,
so if we look at the Giroud thing, you know, he said he was close to sign. It was basically agreed, and we know that anyway. He wanted him. Now, Steve Walsh has done a lot of the legwork, and Koeman thinks he's got him, and then the player doesn't come at the end. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? But again, I suppose that's where you'd have to have those other players. And again, I've said it before, but Everton need to start saying to people, you've got a time scale. If you haven't given me your decision in 5 days, we're moving on. Whether you want it or not, we move on, because any club that wants to do things in football shouldn't be scratching around on deadline day. They shouldn't be. No. It's exciting to fans. I think we might get him in, but as a club and as a manager, if I was a manager of Everton, I wanted a centre forward. I'd want the centre forward in before we kick the ball for the season, and I know that that's what's going to happen in the future. But I'd want him in by that, and if not, I'd want it in 3, 4, 5 days before the window. Ideally, transfer deadline day, you should be able to put your feet up and see who else is scratching now, unless this amazing golden nugget gets presented to you on transfer deadline day. But that's gone now. We can't bemoan that fact. It's done. There's players there in the squad. There's good players in that Everton side, but if he can't get a tune out of them, or he can't get a formation out of them that works, then he's asking for trouble.
I think what we have to see, the minimum we have to see over the next month, is a system in place that fits the players. Hopefully he's gone away. He's looked at the whole thing. He's looked at all his players. He sat down maybe with his coaches and said, "What do we need to do? And what will work best, regardless of what name or whoever. What works best? What system will work best? What will create a team ultimately? Because that's all that matters." And they'll start implementing it from Sunday and trust it and stick with it and see what happens. Because that, as we've said, I know we've said this already, that's been the biggest frustration so far, is the fact that he hasn't stuck to something and trusted it, and he's chopped and changed, and he hasn't even gone from one thing to another. He's done, it almost feels like he's picking them out the air now, and picking players out the air. And
that's what happens when you...
But I think that's a worrying situation. I think when you get in that situation, that worries me, as I said. The body language, and he just doesn't look like a man in control, and I think that's a worrying sign. I think managers, even in their bad times, you understand it. It's football. They've got a plan. They're going to stick to it, rightly or wrongly. Whatever happens. Moyes stuck to it. Martinez, again, for better or worse, that was his football philosophy. We see it now with Belgium. Seen it at the weekend. Beating Bosnia, what was it, 4-3, yeah, on a terrible pitch. He stuck to what he believes in. He's going to the World Cup with a great team. You know what I mean? It's mad. Exactly. But you know what his football was like? Well, it mightn't work down here with shit players, but it might work up here with boss players, and it will. And it might, do you know what I mean? But with Koeman, my worry is that I don't see that identity with him at the moment. I don't know what that identity is. The identity when he came in was pressing football and all this shit. That hasn't happened. So,
but why hasn't that happened?
Because he hasn't bought the players. Simply, has he? He hasn't.
That's strange, though.
Exactly. He went in with an idea and just ripped it up and decided to do something completely different. So,
actually, I don't understand that, because if someone offers you a job, then you take it. Like, if we got rid of him and got Tony Pulis in, you would know what Tony Pulis was going to do, wouldn't you? He'd come in, he'd buy 6', 35-inch fucking players and start launching balls, make it difficult to beat. You'd be well organised, well drilled, difficult to beat, and that's how you would be every single week. But so I don't know how you, like, Klopp's gone to Liverpool and you know that they're gonna fucking press the ball and blah de blah, and Marino's gonna go and he'll play it. How can, he's 50 odd, 53, 54, how can you go in and totally change? You're gonna talk about high press game and doing it, and then that goes after 2 weeks like it did, and you never go back to it, and you don't buy the players to play that. You could go in and go, we haven't quite got the players to play the way I want to play, so I'm going to have to go with what I've got, but I'm going to be buying this player and this player and this player. And ironically, the only player I see doing that is Davy Klaassen. If you watch Everton when Klaassen plays, he's the one that's pressing, trying to get the ball. No one else is. That's why he looks stupid sometimes, because they just pass around him. No one else can be arse running, and we're in trouble. Garner does it to a certain extent. So that's the bit I find a little bit weird, is that there isn't an identity, and there hasn't been an identity since he's been in. He's been here for 18 months, well, 17 months as a man, in charge of the club. So that's a little bit weird to me, that we haven't really seen that identity. But it doesn't mean to say you can't turn it round.
That's what we need to start seeing, isn't it? An identity, something over the next month where you look at it and you think, right, because he's going to have a lot of his players back now for the A lot of the internet, I know, you know, from when we're recording this,
stupid.
well, there is, yeah. But there's a. What I'm saying is, though, he's going to have a lot of his players back for the rest of the week. You know what I mean? A lot of them are already finished, and
the extra day, obviously, they've got an extra day, haven't we?
Yeah.
Sunday,
so hopefully you'll sit down, work on things. People can get out their frustrations, tell the manager what they want and how they feel. Because I think that's a big part, and the players should be, you know, getting that out there. Even the newer players should be, you know, speaking to the manager, and hopefully we come out with some kind of method to how we play. Because at the moment we haven't got one. So, oh yeah. So let us know your thoughts on Ronald Koeman. Do you feel like he has got a month to save his job, or, you know, are you in the camp which is like, no, he shouldn't have a job, or are you in the camp where you should be saying, where you're saying, let's calm down a little bit? You know, the man's got a long-term plan, and let him see it through. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.